Please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Mr Chris Tobin, the representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional welcome to country. Mr Tobin.
Thank you. Warami, and welcome to the lands of the Wallumedegal. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to thank the University for their acknowledgement of us and for the invitation to welcome you all here today. That acknowledgement is important to our people and much appreciated, particularly by our elders. Education is highly valued in Aboriginal culture as well. Knowledge meant survival, and our elders are traditionally accorded great respect for their accumulated wisdom and experience. My family descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. As such, he enrolled his daughter, Maria, into the Native Institution, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. She studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them, and it became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown now stands. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here today. And with good reason. For your progress progresses us all. Your advancement is our advancement. Now, this was perhaps more readily understood in traditional times when camps were smaller and clans abided by strict sharing laws. It meant that the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the whole community. And you, of course, were looked after by them. We can live quite beautifully when we do it well. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a benchmark or a model on how good to expect our lives today. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 200 years ago, he described the people he encountered at Botany Bay as one of the happiest people he had met in the world. They had nothing, he wrote, but the tools that they carried. They were naked, they made shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down. They harvested food from the land without tilling the earth. In traditional times, everyone was accorded rights to the country or clan area where he or she was born into. So there was no homelessness and no rich and poor either. Everyone had pretty much the same amount of gear, what you could carry. There were no armies or jails, no rents or mortgages, no history of slavery or empire building. People cooperated to collect resources which were then shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands were maintained in their natural state, rivers were clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 20,000 years. Now, I remind you, this is not an ideal, this is normal life. And there's no reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. Admittedly, there's a lot more of us now, so there's a lot of work to be done. But I would say then, expect great things from your lives and do great things. A lot of magic in the world at the moment. We could work together to get this country back to a place we can be proud of and a future worthy of our children. We can all do this. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine now by getting off and letting you good people graduate. Just want to say thank you for your attention, congratulations to you all, and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you. Yana.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce the Chancellor of Macquarie University, the Honourable Michael Egan. Mr Egan.
Thank you, Christopher Tobin, for your welcome to country. Well, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and I don't actually see any babies at the moment, but I heard the cries of a few a moment ago, and they're very welcome too. We have a very firm rule. In fact, it's more than a rule, it's law. It's a bylaw enacted a bylaw of the university that if a baby cries during a graduation ceremony, and that will surely happen in this one because it's a huge ceremony, we've got well over 200, I think, graduates. So at some stage, a baby or a small child will make a noise. The law is that you are not allowed to take them outside. You're to stay where you are, because the noise of a crying baby or a little child playing up is not going to bother any of us. We've all heard worse. I used to be in Parliament for 25 years, so I can cope with that. And in any event, we discovered years ago that if a baby cries during a graduation ceremony, they're back within 25 years to take out their first PhD. So I don't know whether that applies to some of our PhDs down there. They may have been here 23 or 4 years ago and have cried. Well, it's my great privilege as Chancellor of Macquarie University to preside at this afternoon's very important ceremony. First, let me welcome all of our graduands, and I hope that today will be a very happy and a very memorable occasion for all of you. But you'll only enjoy it if you relax. Some of you look relaxed and happy, but some of you look very apprehensive and nervous. There's absolutely nothing to be nervous about. Don't worry if you've got clammy hands. You don't have to rub your hands before you come over to me, because I can assure you the person before you and the person after you has hands just as clammy, if not clammier. The only thing that can go wrong is that this thing can fall off. That often happens. That's easily fixed. We just pick it up and plonk it back on your head. The worst thing that can happen is that you trip over. And that's happened too. But we take care of all of those eventualities. That's why we have the Honourable Justice Patricia Bergen here today to pick you up if you fall over. So please relax, because you deserve to enjoy the day. You deserve to take great pride in your graduation. Completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind. You need determination and perseverance, and you need to make many sacrifices. So welcome and congratulations to each and every one of you. Today I also want to welcome, and especially welcome, those of you who are sitting behind our graduands as their invited guests. Because if you think about it for a moment or two, you've all obviously done very well too. The very fact that you're here, the very fact that you've been invited by one of our graduands to share one of the great days of their lives is proof positive that you've been very important in their lives and in the successes that we celebrate today. So mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, cousins, sons and daughters, grandmothers, grandfathers, friends, husbands, wives, partners, boyfriends, girlfriends, lovers, or whatever you are, congratulations, and thank you for celebrating this great occasion with us. And I don't want you to think that observing today's graduation is the end of your role. I have another very important service for you to perform for our newest graduates, as they will soon become. I want you to make sure that the testimonies, the degrees they receive today, are never ever put in a bottom drawer, but are always proudly displayed in a position of prominence. In other words, if our graduands are too self-effacing to proclaim their own success, you make sure that you do it for them. Now, the ceremony that we're about to participate in is one of the world's oldest social rituals. For centuries, graduates have been donning robes just like the ones our graduands are wearing today, and participating in ceremonies just like this one. Indeed, there are some 50 universities in the world which can trace their history back more than 500 years. Now, I hope it won't come as a shock to you to learn that Macquarie University is not one of those 50 universities. We're not yet 50 years old. We're only 49 years, but in those 49 years, we've certainly come a long way. We now have more than 130,000 Macquarie graduates living in more than 140 countries. Macquarie is a very modern and outward-looking university. We're regarded as one of Australia's leading research universities and are currently extending our research as we are our course offerings and our facilities. We're always trying to engage with the world around us. We've forged strong alliances with the community and with industry and are keen to establish more. On your way here today, you may have seen our new Macquarie University Hospital, just on 2 years old, which is of course not only used to treat sick people, but also by the students and academics in our School of Advanced Medicine. You may also have seen our new library, which was opened last year, which really is state-of-the-art and I think the envy of every other university in the land. And even this week, we opened our new Advanced Hearing Hub, which is a world-leading institute dedicated to advances in hearing, speech and language science. So we're looking forward and we're on the move. We want Macquarie always to be a leader in teaching and learning and a leader in the accumulation of knowledge and understanding. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. And graduands, in just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. Thank you.
Chancellor, I call on Miss Alita Playford, who's graduating today with a Bachelor of Laws in First Class Honours and a University Medal for Law, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Miss Playford.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the University, fellow graduands and guests, I would like to also acknowledge the Darug people, the traditional custodians of this land, and elders both past and present. I am honoured to speak to you all today on such a significant occasion. Well, we made it. 5 years seemed like such a long time when we all began, but in my opinion it went very quickly, or perhaps it was 3 for some of you. For me, there were 5 very eye-opening years. They taught us many things, but one thing that stands out to me is that they taught us how to read. An odd thing to say perhaps, but I'm sure that most of you were not previously familiar with the concept of reading hundreds of pages of law textbooks in a week. Nor were you probably familiar with reading lengthy cases. While these may have seemed tedious tasks for the less than popular subjects, reading is a great skill, the ability to not only understand material, but to form your own opinion and discuss is indeed higher order thinking, as many of our lecturers like to emphasise. I believe these discussions were some of the most enjoyable aspects of our time here at university. The ability to exchange opinions and at times have quite passionate debates was a valuable learning curve for us all. This skill should not be taken for granted because regardless of what you use your degrees for, it can be applied to all aspects of our lives. I see it as a type of duty because it exposed us to debates on social, environmental and economic issues of our time. And they challenged us to form factual opinions. With this in mind, I hope you all continue to question what you read, but maybe give others a break once in a while. I do not think they want every conversation on current affairs to turn into a moot. May I also take this opportunity to thank those people, whether that be partners, family or others, for putting up with perfectionistic tendencies that often reveal themselves in law students. They can be valuable yet tiresome characteristics, and I'm sure I can speak for all that will be graduating today when I say we are very grateful for your care and encouragement during times of stress and anxiety. I really hope those degrees give you some sense of relief after what probably feels like the end of a marathon. I'm sure that most of us could not have got to this stage without you. I must also thank our lecturers. Their enthusiasm for even the driest subjects certainly assisted in getting us to this graduation. It takes a unique personality to be able to teach effectively, though I believe that we were lucky enough to experience that throughout our degrees. I'm sure that all of you have specific lecturers that you would like to thank. Just some that I would like to personally acknowledge include Dr. Shaukat Alam, Dr. Alexander Saar, and Dr. Richie Howard. Thank you also to Macquarie for its interdisciplinary focus. Lastly, graduands, well done. We got there, and I hope you do not take for granted what you have achieved. Today is a day for reflection, though it is also the beginning of many different pathways. I hope we all support each other on those journeys. Enjoy your day, and I wish each of you all the best for your future. Thank you.
Well done, Elisa, and congratulations on your law degree with first-class honours, and congratulations also on being the recipient of the University Medal. That little medal, which I will present to you with much joy later on, is something which will be regarded by your family for generations with great pride. So congratulations. And there was some very good advice you gave there too. The ability to read and question what you read is a skill that needs to be acquired. A very good friend of mine who was at university about the same time as me, which means in the mid-1960s, struggled through his first year, just barely managed to pass. In his second year, he got high distinctions in everything. And he explains the difference between first year and second year quite simply. He said, it wasn't till I got to second year that I realised that not everything I read was of equal value. And some of the stuff I was reading was absolute nonsense. And he said, when I learned to differentiate, he said, it became ever so much easier. So learning to read and question what you read and analyse what you read really is a skill that you have to hone as you go along. So good luck. We expect our university medalists to do great things, and we also hope that you'll have a long connection with Macquarie University. Well, graduates, or graduands I should say, we now come to the key part of the ceremony, the reason we are here, and that's the conferring of degrees. Now, this is the bit that makes me a bit apprehensive and a bit nervous, because I'm told that if I confer a degree upon you and you weren't entitled to receive it, there's nothing I can do legally to take it back. So I need to receive an ironclad guarantee from the registrar that none of you were ever late in submitting an assignment, none of you were ever late for a class or missed a class, and that you're otherwise eligible to graduate today. So, Registrar, can you give me that ironclad assurance?
Chancellor, I certify that all the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of Academic Senate for the degrees they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
Graduands, in the name of the Council of Macquarie University and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees for which you have qualified. Graduates, congratulations.
Will you please be seated? Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Macquarie Law School. Macquarie Law School was established in 1972 as Sydney's third law school and admitted its first students in 1975. A hallmark of all their programs is a commitment to the interdisciplinary study of law, designated to foster a sound understanding of legal doctrine, as well as an awareness of the role of law in society and a developed sense of social responsibility. Chancellor, I now call on Professor Natalie Klein, Dean of Macquarie Law School, to present the graduates. Professor Klein.
Chancellor, I present to you the graduates and diplomates from the Faculty of Arts whom you have admitted to degrees. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Nazaruddin Abdul Rahman for a thesis entitled Implementing Competition Law and Policy in Malaysia, Transplantation and Localization. Dr. Lisa Andrea Plitt for a thesis entitled Legislating for Sustainable Development, a case study of the South African experience. Dr. Charu Sharma for a thesis entitled Civil Liability for Environmental Damage, an Assessment of Environmental Claims under Private and Public Law in India. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of International Trade and Commerce Law, Pega Ponori. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Laws with First Class Honours and the University Medal for Law, Alyssa Margaret Playford. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Laws with First Class Honours, Olivia Jane Allen. Daniel Delimahalis. Maria Alejandra Horner. Alexander Ruston. Effie Elizabeth Shorten. Justin Zhu Ming Wong. Ryan Zarai. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Laws with Honours, Kathleen Alexander Clough. Well done. Richard Serap Aslanian. Elizabeth Margaret Atkinson. Hannah Lee Cooper. Reese Dylan Corbett Wilkins. Bodhi Nisansala Dharmatilaki. Jennifer Marie Faulkner. Congratulations. Nicholas Lawrence Ferrari. Well done. Shanine Finnegan Foster. Well done. Sarah Gajic. Well done. Rebecca Elizabeth Gilbert. Simon Robert Baird Gray. Katie Lee Griffiths. Vanessa Marion Hall. Sean Harrison. Neville Mirza. Christopher Prestopino. Ashley Standen. Kirsten Ann Stewart. Well done. Giselle Petrolise van Sale. Congratulations. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Applied Finance with the Bachelor of Laws with honours. Alice Forbes. Well done. Zin Zin Kong. Well done. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the Bachelor of Laws with first class honours, Grant Michael Adams. Well done. William George Coote. Adamir Hajdapasik. Well done. Congratulations. Christine Elizabeth Iacono. Malithi Udesha Karuna Arachi. Thank you. Murray David Patton. Well done. Daniel John Robinson. Well done. Mallory Victoria Tuckey. Well done. Tess Louise Vickery. Victoria Jane Woolley. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the Bachelor of Laws with honours. Hayley Amnesty Ann Adams. Well done. Emily Mary Aitken. Ryan Cable. Louise Jane Carter. Todd Darvis. Well done. Rohila Desabzi Rahimi. Well done. Elizabeth Marie Davies Docker. Naya Gosain. Well done. Rebecca Iglesias. Well done. Lynette Limbers. Well done. Eleanor Catherine McKelvey Bunting. Well done. Jessica Elaine Millington. Richard Ronald Ross Montano. Ashna Parik. Damien Petrovich. Rebecca Ross. Ashley Shand. David Callum Turner. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts Psychology with the Bachelor of Laws with first class honours, Arani Ramachandran. Well done. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts Psychology with the Bachelor of Laws with honours, Jacqueline Aronis. Well done. Congratulations. Edith Lai Ting Shao. Kazusa Higashioka. Well done. Joanna Elizabeth Jane Mackenzie. Tanya Marley. Samantha Louise McCormack. Caitlin Ashley Torr. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the Bachelor of Laws with first class honours, Thomas Bruce Hambrett. Well done. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the Bachelor of Laws with honours, Jonathan James Barker. Well done. Thomas Silas Bonham. Well done. Alice Kwong. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with the Bachelor of Laws with first class honours, Roderick Gilmore Amon. Michael John Thornton. Well done. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with the Bachelor of Laws with honours, Adam Mason Aboud. Well done. Marianne Dakoul. Well done. Daniel Forster. Well done. Mitchell James Grote. Well done. Anna Caroline McEwen. Well done. Anish Wilson. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Accounting with the Bachelor of Laws with honours, Adelina Sylvia Chow. Well done. Anish Luthra. Congratulations. Neil Paul Scher. Well done. Avadeep Singh. Well done. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Marketing with the Bachelor of Laws with honours, Claire Elizabeth Don. Well done. Emma Mary Winch. Well done. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Professional Accounting with the Bachelor of Laws with honours, Andrew Brian Sidaway. Well done. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Environmental Management with the Bachelor of Laws with honours, Melanie Lynette Aspinall. Well done. Erin Dyer. Well done. Christopher William Evans. Well done. Nicole Woods. Sorry, there was a little tick. And this is Sinead Erin Riley. And now we have another graduate with the Bachelor of Environmental Management with the Bachelor of Laws with honours, Nicole Woods.
Okay.
I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of International Studies with the Bachelor of Laws with First Class Honours, Caitlin Grace Mills. Well done. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of International Studies with the Bachelor of Laws with Honours, Madeline Ann Boyd. Well done. Grace Whitney Gown. Well done. Congratulations. Sophie Alexandra Keiko. Well done. Jessica Kate Scranton. Well done. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Media with the Bachelor of Laws with Honours, Anne-Marie Boumeri. Well done. Patrick Anthony Hodgetts. Well done. Vanessa Leonie Hubel. Well done. Alexandra Catherine Jones. Well done. Congratulations. Lyselle Lomax. Well done. Congratulations. Sophie Ticehurst. Well done. Congratulations. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Science with the Bachelor of Laws with First Class Honours, Guy Jesse Dwyer. Well done. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Social Science with the Bachelor of Laws with First Class Honours, Alessandra Peldova McClelland. Well done. Congratulations. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Social Science with the Bachelor of Laws with Honours, Eva Chappell. Well done. Congratulations. Jessica Louise Jordan. Well done. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Applied Finance with the Bachelor of Laws, Roxana Lamb. Well done. Congratulations. John J. Marr. Well done. Brian Sung. Well done. Krishna Vaikuntan. Well done. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the Bachelor of Laws. Cameron Alexander Hayden Adair. Well done. Mahdi Akil. Well done. Carly May Alcock. Well done. Peter John Arnold. Well done. Andy Bunasar. Well done. Caitlin Abby Bowman. Well done. Felicia Astrid Escalante. Cassandra Alice Garton. Well done. Daniel Gelbart. Well done. Melinda Janet Giles. Well done. Christopher Gounder. Well done. Cheyenne Koshab. Shahab Kazus. Well done. Patrick Benjamin Pagan. Well done. Syra Remani. Well done. Alexander Lee Salama. Well done. Daniel John Shestowski. Well done. Sandra Solomon. Well done. Thomas Ian Stevenson. Well done. James Lee Thompson. Well done. Elise Trotter. Well done. Farid Yusuf. Well done. Okay, thank you. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts Psychology with the Bachelor of Laws, Jingwei Susan He. Well done. Judy Neitsu Liu. Well done. Tonya Lutfi. Alice No. Well done. Minia Paul Popescu. Well done. Hong An Tai. Well done. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the Bachelor of Laws, Catherine Yi Yin Chen. Well done. Amy Elise Riley. Well done. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with the Bachelor of Laws, Trent Ronald Belling. Well done. Jonathan Leslie Walter Delahoyd. Well done. Mariam Desabzi. Well done. Congratulations. Sanjay Thomas Joseph. Well done. Congratulations. Genevieve Elizabeth McCabe. Well done. Shannon Nand. Well done. Congratulations. Timothy James Nicholson. Well done. Yuan Chi Viana Xing. Well done. Mary Na Vu. Well done. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Accounting with the Bachelor of Laws, Alexander Dimitriou. Nicholas Louis Galanopoulos.
Well done.
Wei Ping Lu.
Well done.
Imogen Ellis O'Neill.
Well done.
Travis John Rath.
Well done.
Deepika Shalini Singh.
Well done.
I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Marketing with the Bachelor of Laws, Anthony Ji Hung Chan.
Well done.
Annalise Cara Heiss.
Well done.
Si Chung Kevin Ng.
Well done. Congratulations.
Michael James Santos.
Well done.
T. Tons Fung Tran.
Well done, Linda.
I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Professional Accounting with the Bachelor of Laws, Christopher William Fielden.
Well done.
I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Environmental Management with the Bachelor of Laws, Samantha Kate Galliano.
Well done. Congratulations.
Edwin Ho.
Well done.
Catherine Emma May Marginson.
Well done.
Definite family. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of International Studies with the Bachelor of Laws, Melissa Chichak.
Well done.
Thank you. Bosch Kuo. Sarah Aggie Wang.
Well done.
I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Media with the Bachelor of Laws, Laura Jean Norma Bowman. Well done. Orla Ain Brady. Well done. Aaron Charles Edmonds. Well done. Alexandra Karen Epov. Well done. Sam Goodwin. Well done. Emily Louise McCown. Well done. Patricia Marinovich. Well done. Kimberly Jade Richardson. Well done. Christine Trin. Jacqueline Suk-Ah Wong. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Diane Marie Causer. Well done. Jose Antonio Horner. Well done. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Laws, Bahar Melik Agar. Well done. Elise Louise Albers. Well done. Congratulations. Luke Allen. Well done. Jessica Bandiera. Well done. Lisa Michelle Cook Dolan. Well done. Stephen Reginald Delacroix. Megan Fiona Denholm. Well done. Andrew Nicholas Egri. Well done. Sarah Pham. Well done. Frank Versace. Well Well done. Erin Elizabeth Giles. Well done. Marty Lee Hunt. Well done. Susanna Louise Gerapetritis. Well done. Congratulations. Shannon Tyler Kelly. Well done. Lara Kate McCarlick. Well done. Kimberly Nicole Mackenzie. Well done. Natasha Sarah Malouf. Hannah Jane Momot. Well done. Zafiria Fiona Pesaris. Kate Mary Poppet. Well done. Yvonne Allison Quill. Kirsten Samuels. Marie Cecine. Well done. Guinevere Charlotte Stanley. Christopher Pierre Tomey. John Jesus Torres. Well done. Vanessa Vecchio. Georgia Mary Vlachos. Han Jin Zhang. Well done. Chancellor, that completes this afternoon's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Arts.
Well, no, that wasn't too bad, was it? That gorgeous voice belongs to the equally gorgeous Angela Brewer. Would you like to hear Angela sing a little bit more? Okay, what you have to do, you enrol in another degree, and when you come back next time, I promise you Angela will be singing at your graduation. I think she deserves another great round of applause. And so too to our fabulous musicians over there on the organ, Dr. James Forsyth. And on the trumpet, Melanie McLaughlin. And sitting next to them are some of our alumni volunteers who come along just to make sure that everything goes smoothly at your graduation. Please put your hands together for them. Well, ladies and gentlemen and graduates, as part of this graduation ceremony, we honour a member of staff from the Faculty of Arts who has made outstanding contributions to student learning at Macquarie University. I now call upon Professor Bruce Doughton, Vice-Chancellor of Macquarie University, to read the citation. Professor Doughton.
Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to invite Dr. Shaukat Alam to come forward. Dr. Alam is the 2012 winner of a Vice-Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Higher Degree Research Supervision. Dr. Alam won this award for his research, pastoral care, engagement with higher degree research students, leadership in supervisory practices, and the integration of his supervisory roles within the goals of both Macquarie Law School and the university. Dr. Alam has an impressive number of successful doctoral student completions through encouraging conference presentations and authoring or co-authoring publications with his students. He has enhanced the research culture in the Macquarie Law School through arranging research seminars where high degree research students can present their research to their peers and their colleagues. Through his efforts, the law school is now very comfortably making its completion targets. Dr. Alam also mentors and supports the career development of his students after graduation. Chancellor, I present to you a truly worthy recipient of the 2012 Vice-Chancellor's Excellence in Higher Degree Research Supervision, Dr. Shaukat Alam from the Macquarie Law School in the Faculty of Arts.
Well, graduates and ladies and gentlemen, it's our pleasure at today's ceremony to honour, in accordance with a resolution of the University Council, the Honourable Justice Patricia Bergen SC for admission to the degree of Doctor of Letters Honoris Causa of Macquarie University. I now call upon Professor Bruce Doughton to read the citation. Professor Doughton.
I invite the Honourable Justice Patricia Bergen SC to stand for the citation. Chancellor, Patricia Ann Bergen has had two remarkable careers, first as a teacher and second at the law as a judge's advocate, solicitor, barrister and judge. Educated at the Kincoppel Girls' School and Sydney Teachers College, Justice Bergen worked as a teacher for 5 years before attending Macquarie University, where she qualified with a Bachelor of Legal Studies in 1980. Following work as a judge's advocate during her years of legal study, she joined the firm of Stephen, Jacques and Stephen upon graduation from Macquarie University in 1981. Remembered by her colleagues throughout her distinguished career for her excellent work, great energy and impressive speed to task completion, Justice Bergen is also admired by the legal fraternity for her concise thinking and her ability to incisively identify the central issues of a case. Paddy Bergen is known for her high standards, strong ethics, and her extraordinary command of the English language. Justice Bergen has served the legal fraternity in a wide variety of roles, including as New South Wales Bar Counsellor, on a visiting committee at the Faculty of Law at Wollongong University, and the New South Wales Legal Practitioners Admission Board. In the wider community, she has served as the chairperson of the New South Wales State Cancer Council. During her time at the bar, she examined and lectured new barristers in ethics, leaving an indelible impression upon all whom she has touched towards the maintenance of high standards of practice and integrity within the profession of law. Justice Bergen is deeply committed to her profession, is learned, has achieved many accolades during her lifetime of service at the law. Chancellor, it is my distinct pleasure to present to you one of Macquarie University's finest and most successful alumni, the Honourable Justice Patricia Ann Bergen, Senior Counsel for the award of the degree Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
Justice Patricia Bergen, in the name of the Council of Macquarie University and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa. Congratulations, Dr. Bergen. Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite Dr. Bergen to give the occasional address.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of the University, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, may I say thank you to this University for the quite extraordinary honour that you have conferred upon me today. I will treasure it and work hard to live up to the expectations that travel with it. Now to the graduates. Congratulations to each and every one of you on your fine achievements that we are here to celebrate today. Each of you is entitled to be proud of your achievements, as are the members of your families and your friends who have supported you throughout your studies. I suppose some of the parents in this room might feel they've completed the degree with you. You are now equipped with the essential prerequisite, a most respected law degree from this wonderful university, to enable you to achieve a way of life that is interesting, fulfilling, and rewarding. It is a way of life that will allow you to make a contribution to the maintenance of the system of justice in this state and indeed in this nation. And so it is the next step that you take that may be a or the most defining one in your future. I'm going to assume, against the statistical trend, that the majority of the graduates here today intend to proceed to be admitted to the practice of law. I hope that in adopting this approach, I might persuade some of the minority to change their decision. Why is this so? It is because I feel you could have no better life. The practice of the law is no ordinary profession. It is a profession of privileges that go hand in hand with obligations and duties, the compliance with which can be quite complex at times and indeed burdensome. It is not a place for the faint-hearted. It is a place for those with the courage of their convictions. It is a profession, the members of which are the servants of and for the law. Whether in acting or appearing for a client in the pursuit of a damages claim against a tortious wrongdoer, the defence of a traffic fine or infringement, the pursuit of a claim to restrain the infringement of rights, or in the conduct of a defence for a most serious criminal offence, the legal practitioner knows that there is a bond not only with the fellow practitioners in the legal community, but also with the judiciary. That bond is established at the moment of your admission to practice. It is from that point that you have the privilege of an entitlement to make appearances in the public arena of a courtroom in which, on your client's behalf, you may make claims that you would not otherwise be authorised to make. It is in that role that the judiciary will be entitled to place implicit trust in you, that you will respect that extraordinary privilege and make only those statements consistent with a lawyer's obligations. As the third arm of government, sometimes forgotten by some, the judiciary is a pivotal aspect of the maintenance of our civilised society. The administration of justice is dependent upon the maintenance of an independent and incorruptible judiciary. The maintenance of an independent and incorruptible judiciary is dependent upon the integrity of the legal profession. The integrity and strength of the legal profession is dependent upon the competence and honesty of each legal practitioner. The intricate web that binds these layers together has been developed, at least in this state, over the last 190 years, since the establishment of the Supreme Court of New South Wales in 1823. Thus far, you may feel I have frightened not only the minority, but also the majority out of the practice of the law. However, let us shortly look at practice a little more closely. With a little trepidation, having heard the exotic degrees of some of the graduates today, I would like to promote one particular area of practice that you may not have considered, perhaps because it is perceived to be less lucrative or less attractive than other areas. Obviously, our society requires a capacity of a legal profession to work in all areas to serve the community. However, I would like to suggest that you give consideration to a life wholly, or perhaps partly, in the practice of the criminal law. You may think that odd for the Chief Judge in Equity to be suggesting that. Practicing in this area will allow you to give voice to and defend those members of our society who may have been wrongly accused. It also allows you to give voice to those who have been accused rightly and who need guidance in the way to deal with their guilt. It is a difficult task to guide a client through the machinations of the criminal law as to what they should do when they have in fact committed a criminal offence. And for those who haven't, you can imagine the stresses and strains in the life of the person who enters your chambers to ask you to look after them. In the modern litigious world, where written submissions are now much favoured, the practice of the criminal law is one of the very few remaining areas in which oral argument survives in its purest form. In a criminal trial, 12 members of the community are sworn in as the jury to try the facts, to listen to the evidence, and to give a verdict according to the evidence, not to what they read in the papers or have heard elsewhere, but to the evidence. The jury is dependent upon practitioners with integrity and capacity to expose and analyse with clarity and persuasion the evidence that they will have to grapple with to reach the verdict. As a practitioner, you will rise to your feet to persuade those 12 members of the jury that the arguments for which you contend should be accepted. You will know nothing of the jurors' lives. In Australia, as you know, we do not ask the jurors questions. These are 12 total strangers. Their backgrounds are unknown, their likes and dislikes are uncertain, and their possible prejudices may adversely affect the consideration of your arguments. You will develop the forensic skills to neutralise and impact the possible prejudices. It will be your task, indeed your privilege, to take those members of the jury with you to a point where they accept your arguments. That is a most extraordinary, privileged position for one to be in. If you are appearing for the prosecution, you will have on your shoulders the burden of community expectations, and for the accused, the burden of the hope and faith placed in you to look after their future. Your performance in this regard will be in a public courtroom. No other walk of life is quite like that. And when the jury returns with a verdict in your client's favour, the emotion that you may feel will let you know that you are in the right place. However, the resilience that you will need when the jury returns a verdict against your client, with the consequence of having to explain it to your client, is appropriately described as a challenging aspect of legal professional life. However, it is just that situation out of which some of the leading cases in the criminal law have made their way through the appellate level to the High Court, and before that the Privy Council and the House of Lords. There are so many horizons in the practice of the criminal law. One can see from this small example that in the life of a practitioner of the law, there may be days of elation and days of black despair. I'm not seeking to portray the profession as a large group of passengers on a continuum of emotional roller coasters. Rather, I am seeking to make good my contention that the profession is no ordinary profession. If you are willing to enter the portal to serve, you will have a life with interest and fascination and excitement, and on some days, perhaps a little despair. You will know what it is like to feel truly alive. It is a full life. I wish you every success.
Well, graduates, I'm sure you'll agree that was an inspiring occasional address. I certainly was inspired. I feel like re-enrolling in first year law and becoming a criminal lawyer. What I think Justice Bergen's occasional address has done is remind us of how fortunate we are in this country. We had a graduate speaker the other day who, as well as thanking his family and his fellow students and the academics, also thanked society in general. I'd never heard anyone do that before, but the point of it was that we are very, very fortunate to live in a civilised society. And one of the things that makes it a civilised society is the rule of law and an independent judiciary. Not every country, not every society is that fortunate. And we're extremely fortunate in this country. It could have gone another way. Right back from the very start, the first governor of New South Wales, Captain Arthur Phillip, allowed a convicted felon who came out on the First Fleet the right to sue the military authorities for the loss of his chattels during the First Fleet. Now, that was almost unheard of. The bigwigs in London were horrified. But what it did was establish the rule of law in the infant colony right from the start. And we owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to men like Arthur Phillip and also the man after whom this university is named, Lachlan Macquarie, for establishing the values that have made this such a great society and a great country. I think Justice Bergen needs another great round of applause. Well, graduates, this ceremony marks the end of one stage in your relationship with Macquarie University, but it's certainly not the end of your association with Macquarie. From today on, for the rest of your lives, you are part of the bigger Macquarie family, which is our alumni, and part of the network of Macquarie alumni, which now spans the globe. We'll keep in touch with you through our alumni program, which is focused on lifelong learning, lifelong support, and lifelong connections. Our commitment to you is to help you keep in touch and engaged with Macquarie throughout your life. And please do make sure that you come back to Macquarie, either to undertake more study, to attend alumni events, use our aquatic and fitness and sporting facilities, or who knows, come back one day to give the occasional address. But whatever you do, keep connected with Macquarie. Well, graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges. But like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. Believe it or not, you, each and every one of you, can change the world. And you don't have to be a Nobel Prize winner to do it either, because almost everything you do, in your homes, in your workplaces, and in your communities matters and can make a huge difference. The consequences of every effort, every action, large or small, can reverberate throughout society, through the decades, indeed the centuries. Even something as simple as a kind word or gesture can often be the spark that ignites a great life or a great career or a great achievement. So as Chancellor of Macquarie University, I charge you to use what you have learned not only for your own benefit, but also for the betterment of the community. I charge you to use the skills and knowledge you have acquired with rigour and integrity, and to commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning and inquiry. I charge you to recognise the worth and dignity of all people, particularly those who have not had the opportunities that you've enjoyed. I charge you to set high goals and to continue the hard work that has brought you so far. I charge you, wherever you go, to go with all your heart. And in all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. Graduates, I hope also that you'll always remember the people who have helped you along the way, many of whom, of course, are here with you today. So to acknowledge their contribution and thank them for it, I'm now going to ask you to do a couple of things. First, I'd like all of our new graduates to now please stand. Now I'd like you to put your testimonials on your seats behind you, and I'd like you to turn around to face your families and friends. And now I invite you to give them a mighty round of applause. Now you can turn around now, but don't sit down because we'll be leaving in just a moment. Here on the dais are some representatives of our academic staff who have supported you throughout your journey, and I'm sure you'd like to give them a great round of applause too. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the official party will now leave the courtyard through the centre aisle and will be followed by all of the graduates. I would invite you all to now please stand and to remain standing until the last of the graduates have processed out. And then I invite you to join us at the University Court for some light refreshments. Well, graduates, I wish you the very best for the future. And in the words of the old Irish blessing, may the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Thank you. Good luck, graduates.